Video walkthrough on a Heartland Mallard. We're starting the back. You are pre-wired for a backup camera. I mean, it doesn't have one, you're just pre-wired for one, so if that's something you want us to install, just let somebody know. And then it does use power off your running lights, off these marker lights rather, so the running lights on your tow vehicle would need to be on to turn the camera on. Bumper caps come off, that's going to be the perfect spot to store your sewer hose. Got a cable inlet right here, so if you're going somewhere that provides cable, that's where you can hook it up to. Got your show cord right here, 50 amp show cord. This is your show cord that comes with it, and then you can see quite how long it is. Exterior range vent. If you're using your fan on your exterior range vent, I guess. If you're using your fan on your range hood, you want to make sure this is open. That way it has somewhere to vent out to. And then when you travel and overnight, I like to close mine so it doesn't flap when you're going down the road and you don't get like insects crawling in there overnight. Exhaust airflow vents for your fridge. Just keep them clean in here. Every once in a while I recommend taking them off and cleaning back there. Exhaust for your furnace. Just keep it clean just like everything else. They do make a screen for these. They don't recommend you run them with the screen on. But as far as like storage and traveling, it's going to keep like road debris from in there, spider webs and insects from building nests in there. And over here, got your drain areas. One on your left is your black, one on your right is your gray. Definitely, I always recommend doing the gray tank, black tank first rather, letting that get all the way empty, and then once it's done, do your gray tank, and that'll flush out the black water from your hose, so you have a slightly less gross hose to carry around. Right over here, got two low point drains. That'll be the lowest point of the water system, of the water lines. If you want to do some winterization, you can use that to help drain the water out. That one over there is your drain for your fresh tank. Right over here, city water. Set provides water, that's where you're going to hook up water to. Below that, black tank flush, so when you're dumping your black tank, you can hook your hose up to here. There's a little nozzle in the black tank that'll kind of spray everything out as you're draining it. Outdoor shower, both hot and cold out here. Plenty of storage over here. Got another gray tank over here. That is for, this one usually has a spot for a washer and dryer. So if you do install a washer and dryer and you are using that, make sure, right, that that's open, or else it's just going to fill that area when it drains the washer and dryer. Make sure it's open and you have a great hose hooked up to it. Fresh fill, if you're going to fill your onboard fresh tank, this is where you do it at. Just rest your hose in there, don't jam it in there or anything like that. Turn your hose on and then watch its progress on the monitoring panel. Don't wait for water to squirt out everywhere. Water heater, super simple. The only thing you guys have to do when you get this is put your drain plug in there. Get it started by hand and then run it with I use a 15/16 socket, that's the size of it. I use a little socket, an extension, and a ratcheting wrench. Get it snug, but don't over tighten it. And then once you get it tight, as soon as you hook up water from city or from from the pump from your fresh tank, it's going to automatically start filling. Once it's full, you can turn it on or off. We'll turn it on and run it. Definitely recommend draining it after every trip. You don't want water sitting there and start to get stagnant, just like your fresh tank. Drain that after every trip. So before you drain it, before you pull this plug out, pull your pressure relief. Water will squirt out, that's fine. Once it stops squirting out, snap it closed. Then take your plug out. If you neglect to do this, you're going to get a bath, because all that pressure is going to come out there rather than relieving it here. And then other than that, clean in there and clean in there quite regularly. Keep it clean, keep it running for a long time. Pass through storage up here. Goes all the way to the other side. Here, a lot of good information. Tire size, what a full load of water equals, cargo carrying capacity, That's very important. 80 psi. That's what you want your tires to be at. And then it has all the good information here, your VIN and your model number and whatnot. Over here, looks like a Group 27 RV marine grade battery. In the winter, I recommend taking this battery completely out, storing it somewhere warm, like your basement, your garage, anything warmer than just being outside. If it's going to be a long time between trips, definitely recommend using a battery disconnect right here. You can use the disconnect. You can see, you see green right here like that. It's on. When you see the red, it's like that. It's off. So that's just going to disconnect your battery from everything and keep anything from using your battery while you're away. But if you do have the ability to plug it in and charge it, because when it's plugged in it does charge, and have it being charged with your storage, when it's in storage, leave your battery disconnect on. Also, you're disconnecting the battery and the charge won't reach the battery. You are partially set up for the Freon solar. You just have to buy the solar kit, and all that does is trickle charge your batteries. Dual 20-pound cylinders. They're full. You don't have to worry about getting them filled. You have an automatic changeover regulator. Whichever one that's pointing to, it's going to pull from that one first. So if this one were to be emptied, it'll automatically switch to pulling from this tank. If this were to be on, if this were off, it'll just stop working. But if this were to be on, it'll switch automatically to pulling from this tank. However, this doesn't move, indicating it has switched to tank. So keep that in the back of your mind, because you could be realistically halfway through this one when you think you're still halfway with this one. And then some people put it in the middle, thinking it's going to pull from both tanks equally. It doesn't. It's one or the other. Anytime I see a customers come in and they have it like this, I always chuckle a little bit, because I know that's not right. Seven-way, this will get plugged to the back of your tow vehicle. This will allow brakes on the trailer, and then the turn signals and marker lights and whatnot to work. Chains, you want to cross them, and then you have your breakaway. This will get hooked up too. That's hooked to that box right there. So if your trailer will get unhooked or anything done from the hitch, it's going to pull the pin out of this box, activate the brakes on the trailer. You got a power tongue jack with a light. Beats hand cranking every day of the week, and then you have a spot for a backup jack. Up here, here's the jacks. This long one on the bottom with the long thin end on the end, that's a manual backup for your power stabilizing jacks. You can see where they would go there. And the other one is a backup for your tongue jack and for your slide out, I believe. So it may or may not be for the slide out, but one will be for your power tongue jack and one's for the stabilizer jacks. Now notice I said stabilizer jacks. These are your spots for the switches for them. We'll do one because they both work the same. These are meant to stabilize, not to level. One and the other. Sometimes you'll have to give it some help with the pad. But at this point, I would have gone back over to the other side, made the pad flat so it would sit like that, and then I would have continued. But how it is now is how you want to go. They're not meant for picking up the weight of the trailer, so don't try to use these to level this, because if you do and you break them, we'll know that you used them wrong. If you want your trailer to be level, tongue jack front to back, get it level front to back using your tongue jack. If you want it side to side, use as you're backing in, blocks under your tires to get it level side to side. These aren't meant to pick up the weight of the trailer, just to stabilize it. Going over here, I got outdoor power. It's GFCI protected. All your GFCI outlets are on the same circuit, so if one's going to trip, they're all going to trip. Yeah. Come under the inside now. Got a couple controls. Slide outs. One on the left will do this slide out. Now you don't want when you use your slide outs, make sure you know what's on the other side of it. And then don't let people ride on them. And we'll stop there because we have a bench you don't want to hit. But this can go out another like 4 inches. Got some light switches. One on the left is your main row lights. One in the middle will do your awning lights. One on the the one in the middle right here will do your awning lights, and then the one on the far right, this one will do this porch light right here. And you have awning controls. We can't go all the way out due to there being, you know, a big wall there. But these do not automatically stop when you go all the way out. That's something you have to visually look out for. When you see a bare gray metal tube, that means you're all the way out. They are adjustable. There's even instructions on how to do it. Little pin detents on each side. You pinch, and you grab the arm and slide it, so you can raise and lower one corner. Both corners are adjustable. You can raise and lower the corner to have water pitch off to the corner rather than all the way along the edge, or if you're trying to pitch it to keep the sun out of your eyes. With these, make sure you put them back in their original position before you close the awning arm again. And if you had it adjusted so you can keep some rain off of you guys, keep it in the corner. If it starts storming real bad, you had it open during a real bad windstorm, roll your awning back up. It's not worth having the wind take it away. And then if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, roll it back out, let it dry off, because you don't want it holding moisture. Come over here, light switch right here. There's your hallway light up there. We'll come into the bedroom. You have another slide out control for the bedroom in here. We won't go, well, yeah. We won't go all the way out just because it's a really quick demonstration, but you see you have about another foot to go, so you get a lot of leg room in front. We'll kind of start in the back. You have these trifold doors like this. Washer and dryer. This is where the washer and dryer go. You probably use a combo washer dryer. The drain tube before it goes here. This is what I was telling you about, how that one gray tank drain up in the front would be on the other side of this wall on the outside. There isn't a tank or anything. It's just the drain for this. So you have two drains. It'll just be the drain for that. So keep that in mind when you're using your. You can have them set. I think one does one, then one will do the other. One will fill into the gray tank, and one will do a permanent dump. That's why I believe there are two. So if you do decide in the future to have a washer and dryer installed, which would be nice because it won't take up too much room, because this front spot is very big, very lots of storage in here. Won't take up much room, and we can get that explained if that were the case. All right, we'll close this. But you have other access to your closet in here with lights that you click on or off in the closet, and we'll make sure these get turned off. Lots of clothes rack space for clothes. So that's a space for any unruly children. Make sure you do latch that before you travel, so these doors don't slide around everywhere. You have a TV backer in here. This whole piece of chunk of wood is a backer. If you want to install a TV here, got a cable outlet and a power outlet. And then you do have some storage underneath lots of storage underneath your bed. Your door to the bathroom, make sure you latch it like this when you travel, otherwise unclip it and it'll slide. Like I said, clip it when you travel, as to not have this door fly around and damage anything. Here's that resettable GFCI in the bathroom, if any GFCI. And this is the GFCI that you reset all the other GFCIs at. Right over here, Monitoring panel, you can read battery, fresh, black, and gray from here. See it reads there. Turn water heater on, gas or electric. You can run them both at once. If you are going to use electric, make sure there's water in it. And then controls for your water pump. Water toilet's very simple. It's got a pedal underneath it. As long as you're pushing it, it's going to keep flushing. Showers, when you travel, make sure you do use this rubber latch to keep them together. But hot and cold shower, very basic. These do magnet together, but make sure, like I said, before you travel. Latch that. You got your light switch for the lights in here. You got a fan up here. Pull this down, rotate it out, opens it up. Light switch right there. Alright. Over here, a little cutout for some more storage here. Again, GFCI any outlet with that sticker on it. It's connected to that one in the bathroom, so if it trips, you have to reset it in the bathroom. Breaker box. So all your breakers for your 120 volt appliances, all your fuses for your 12 volts, so you have a bunch of 15s. Definitely recommend carrying some spare 15s. Switch for if you choose to have us install the WineGuard Wi-Fi extender, that's the switch to turn it on and off. Thermostat, super simple. It'll ask what mode, auto, high or low. Auto is what the mode I recommend you just keep it on. It'll allow your AC to suck on and off at your set temperature. So if it's set to 60, 61 like it is now, it'll turn on, hit 61 and then shut off, and it'll cycle on and off to regulate that 61 degrees. Tap it again, you go to furnace. Tap it again, you turn off. The reason I don't like running on high or low, because if it's really hot out, really humid, eventually your AC will freeze up because it won't shut off at its set temperature. It'll just keep running. Then eventually it'll freeze up, then you have to wait for it to thaw to run it again. And the only thing I tell people about these is they can be a little finicky. Sometimes if you hit up and down at the same time, it switches it to Celsius. Hit up and down again, switches it right back. Cable outlet, so if you wanted a TV in the kitchen, that also has your booster on it. So if you use your antenna, make sure the booster's on. If you're using cable, turn it off. Dinette table, these chairs flip up for storage underneath. This does slide out for more space. If I am right, I could be wrong. Well, you gotta unlatch it, don't you? Yep, you gotta unlatch them down here. Both sides. Oh, just one side. Pull this out, lift it up, push it in. Latches. Gives you a little bit more space. Just remember before you close your slide out to put this back the way it was. Push it down like that. Lift it up, slide it in. Latch it down there. Dual recliner, super simple to recline. Just pull this back up and it reclines. The storage in there. Lights, oops, sorry, light switches. The one on the right does those LEDs in the back. One on the left turns on and off these fixtures. This turns into a bed. It's kind of hard to demonstrate while filming, so I'll do the best I can. Undo these cushions. You'd set them aside. I normally do set them on the end tables. And you can grab this couch from in here, lift up, and you can even see there's legs there. Lift up, pull out, fold the legs down, so it'll pivot out, land about right here. Then you just take this back push and then fold it down, and it creates a platform to sleep on. Radio is super simple. You have different zones. Zone 1 is inside. Oh, zone 1 is outside. Zone 2 is inside. Turn zone 2 off, turns the inside speakers off. Just has them playing outside, or vice versa. You can just have it play inside. You can see how that could be good for, what it could be good for. Presets, push and hold to save a preset. Play, pause, stop, forward, skip your channels, forward and reverse for DVDs. Bluetooth, you can Bluetooth your phone to it. Here it allows you to cycle through mode, auxiliary, USB. This you can't. USB just charges your phone. And headphone jack. If you wanted to have headphones in there, there is a remote for the radio because it is a DVD player. It is a standard definition DVD player. This is from the DVD player, so this will get plugged into your TV. If you choose to have a TV in this area, then you'll be able to watch standard definition DVDs. It allows power and cable outlet for it. You do have a Fireplace. Let's get you a remote for that. And this bag's going to have all your remotes. Let me set this camera down real quickly. There's the remotes. This manual. This bag's going to have, you got some complimentary tank cleaner and some other stuff, other manuals in here. Definitely recommend reading through some of your manuals. But here's the remotes. We'll put the remotes in that storage for the chairs. DVD player remote / radio. Fireplace remote. So you got power. Let's move my camera around a little bit. There we go. You got a timer on it. This changes the heat, turns the heat on or off, this flame. And that dims the flame right here. So this flame, not flame with those little squiggles, that increases the heat on it. And then this increases or decreases the flame. Light switch right here does decorative LEDs on the bottom side of your island. Microwave, super simple. Works just like your microwave at home. It's only going to work when you're plugged in. Light, fan. Takes a while for the fan to kick on. Folding cooktop, super simple to use. All I got to do to light it is turn these onto the flame, twist it. She lights, the gas is off so it won't light. If you can turn them all on and then quickly light it, you can light all three at once. Your oven works a little differently. Your oven, turn to the flame, push and hold. As you're pushing and holding this, it's always good to open that up and look at that pilot in there. You can see when I hit the sparker, it sparks. So as I'm pushing and holding that flame, I'm twisting that sparker until that pilot is lit. Once the pilot's lit, then I can change it to the temperature I want. If I know I'm going to cook again in a few hours, and I don't want to have to relight that pilot, if I turn it to the flame when I turn it off, it shuts the burners off but leaves the flame on. I definitely recommend turning it completely off before you go to bed or before you leave the camper. You got a little light switch here. Up does just the knobs, down does the knobs, and does the oven light. Refrigerator. Super simple. You have two buttons, on or off, auto or gas. Definitely recommend just leaving it auto. Auto is going to default to 110, so if you're plugged in, that's what it's going to use. If it would have, since it lost the 110, like someone would have tripped with your short cord or campground would lose power, this will automatically switch to running off of propane for you if your propane were to be on. These do take about 8 to 10 hours to get fully to their operating temperature, so keep that in mind. You won't be able to use it right away when you get to the campground and plug it in. If you have the ability to, plug it in the night before, let it get cool at home. You can run it on propane when you're going down the road. They tell you you're not supposed to have it on, but I don't see anyone to get in trouble for it. You just didn't hear it from me. Alright, you didn't hear it from me. Or if you don't live far from the campground, if you get it cold at home and you just book it to the campground and get it plugged back in again, you wait another hour or two, and then you should be good to use it again. Alright, that's your fridge. So we got a few more things I wanted to show. Just so you knew where they are and what they do. You just gotta find it. Fire extinguisher, pretty self-explanatory. There's a smoke alarm. Your smoke alarm uses 9-volt batteries. When that starts dying, replace the 9-volt batteries. When they start, they'll give like little low voltage chirps when they start going. Looking for. It's on the ground and they're in every single one of them. I just want to show you. Oh, another thing I failed to mention in the bathroom. This AC is, this one up here is pre-wired for a second AC if you choose to have one installed. It'd be a non-ducted AC. It'd have the knobs on the AC that you would control it from. Pretty easy. Sometimes you just okay, right down here. That's a carbon monoxide and propane gas alarm. That's hardwired to the 12-volt system. There's no batteries you have to worry about changing. However, if that battery up by your tongue starts dying, that'll start giving low voltage chirps just to get your camper plugged in to charge it up. Alright. Well, that concludes your video tour of your Mallard. Hope you guys get a lot of good use out of it. I hope you guys found this video informative, and